In this video, we're going to be discussing how to provide liquidity, what that means to be a liquidity provider, and how you can do that on the PulseChain network. This is all a how-to series, so if you'd like, feel free to check out the playlist right on above. Love to be able to see you on in there. Shows you a series of what to do next and where we start. But to get started, we want to first go to the website, which is app.v3.testnet.pulsex.com, or down in the description below. So the first thing you want to be able to have is Test PLS. I have a link right here showing you how to get that and set that up, as well as you want to make sure that you have enough to be able to provide liquidity. When you provide liquidity, you actually go in here and you can add liquidity. What that means is you are essentially saying, I'm going to put up my tokens for sale so that way people can transact within the network within a certain pool. This pool is then provided between two currencies. In this case, we're going to be providing PLS and we're going to be providing PLSX. Now, when PulseChain launches, you're going to have a massive amount of liquidity providing pools to be able to jump into. Be careful about which ones you always do. You don't have to provide liquidity for all of them, and the reason why is something called impermanent loss. Easy way to explain impermanent loss is usually if one coin pumps, for example, PulseChain pumps 10x, PulseX only does a 2x. When you are providing liquidity, you actually end up with typically the one that did worse. So in this scenario, you would end up with PulseX. You would end up with more of the token that did worse, and you would miss out on the opportunity of what was possible here. So be careful. If you don't understand impermanent loss, definitely start figuring this stuff out. But the easy thing to do right now is we currently have 3,047 PLSX tokens available in this bag. So I can say I want to put up that many. Now, on here, it is a Uniswap V2 pool. That is what PulseX is forking. What that means is you have to put up the equal side of coins on one side as the other side. So if you have $100 worth of one token, you have to put up $100 worth of the other token. Now at this point in time, we don't have any dollar values because there is no bridge into the network, so we don't know exactly what the dollar value is, and this is simply going off ratios. But when there is a bridge available, you'll definitely be able to check out that video here as well. So the easy way to say it is I'm going to put up 3,047 PLSX tokens, and I also have to put up 1,066 tokens. Again, I can come on down here and say I would like to enable. You have a transaction that will pop up. Again, this is a transaction showing you that you are allowing your contract to be able to spend a certain amount of PLSX tokens. Again, this is a very simple thing to do. If you do not understand this, you can set a spending cap. This works for the same on Ethereum as it does for PulseChain. This is a MetaMask feature. So I can actually come in here and say I would like to set a spending cap, if you would like, of 4,000. And the reason why I do that is to not allow it to spend more than that. Now in this scenario, we don't really have to worry about that because I can say I only want to do a max, I guess. It only lets you do the max. So in this scenario, I can just click use default, which is unlimited. That means it has the ability to do unlimited. I do have to sign a small transaction fee to grant this to happen. So if you do limit the amount, just realize that you're going to have to go in, revoke that permission, and reset it. If you don't understand what that means, we got more videos coming, okay? So I'm going to say approve. Once you're in here, you're going to have another option down here, which is going to, again, be get the LP, which is what we're going to be providing right here. So we're just waiting for this transaction to go through. Typically, it takes, on average, about 10 seconds. So you don't have to wait too long. PulseChain is a faster Ethereum. So the transaction has been received. At this point in time, I can now supply liquidity. So I can come in here and say I would like to supply 3,047 PLSX tokens. I would also supply 1,069 PLS tokens, and I would get something called PLP, which is Pulse Liquidity Provider token. It's 1,804. So I would get this many PLP tokens. I could say confirm supply. Again, I'll get another MetaMask transaction pop up. I can go in here and say if I would like to go through and open this up or grant permission for this to be done. which at this point in time, I'm just going to zoom in so you can kind of see and make sure. So again, I can see this is going to cost next to nothing, okay? Everything's going to be very inexpensive when PulseChain launches, and I cannot wait for this to be a thing. So once again, I will say confirm. I can now add PLP, which is the Liquidity Provider token that you get for providing liquidity for both the pairs PulseChain and PulseX. LP tokens will be different depending upon the different pairs that you have. So if you would like, you can go ahead and click add to MetaMask. If you have not done this before, you'll then see that I currently do not have any PLP tokens in here. So I would say add token. The transaction is done. I've now received the LP tokens. And now whenever I look inside my MetaMask, you can also see that this token is also there. Now, granted, if you do not see this, once again, if you do not see the PLP token right here, you can always come in and you can add it later as well. I've shown you a video on how to import tokens. Check out that video, links right above. Now, why would you want to provide liquidity if there is such a thing as impermanent loss? Well, if you have a long-term vision and you believe in the power of both the tokens and you honestly don't mind which one you end up holding at the end of the day, when you provide liquidity within a certain ecosystem, you actually have the ability to earn fees for those tokens that transact between each other. So if people are swapping PLSX for PLS and vice versa, this is going to allow you to actually earn a small portion of fees depending upon the liquidity position provided. So people who provide a much bigger liquidity or LP position, they are going to be earning more fees than someone who just provides maybe $1, right? Versus someone who provides $1 million. But the idea is that you get to earn some fees providing liquidity. And at the end of the day, if you know that you're going to be holding these tokens for a very long time and you're not planning on selling either one and you're okay with the ratios between them and everything is all good, then at the end of the day, this could be an awesome way to earn some more passive income. Now, if you'd like to, I have another video explaining what yield farming is, which is how you can earn even more money on top of your liquidity provider tokens by actually making yourself some passive income. If you want to check out that video, go and check that video out right here. I'll catch you next time. Peace.